bekostnader. Ja, det er ikke stigningen siden selfhausen kommer.
Oh, g'day. Welcome to Sci Fi Sundays. My name is Jacob, and today I want to talk about the best weapons in science fiction. So obviously this video would be like 400 years long if I went through every single weapon in books, TV, movies, and of course the countless weapons in video games. So instead of talking about all these different weapons, I'm going to list my top 10 firearms in science fiction. So in other words, today we're just talking about guns. There are so many guns, so many firearms in video games and other sci-fi mediums, I can't list them all. There are just so many good ones out there, such as the Martok staff weapon, the gravity gun, the Fat Man portal gun, noisy cricket, and so on and so on. So just to reiterate, this is going to be my personal top 10 list of guns that I think are really cool, my favorite, or at the very least unique in some way. So let's start with the classic. The M41A pulse rifle. Fuck yeah, xenomorph killing super assault rifle. The M41A pulse rifle was the primary weapon used by the United States Colonial Marine Corps and the United States Army in the 22nd century in, of course, the Alien franchise. It's got lots of cool features, one of being the digital ammo counter on the side, which was, to me at least, the first time I saw this in science fiction. It was pretty cool, bro, and it's one of the main reasons this makes my list. We see this all the time now in video games, but the M41A predates the first-person shooters by decades, so that's why it's on my list. It fires 10 times 24mm caseless rounds with a 210 grain, steel jacketed and explosive tipped round embedded with a rectangular propelled block of nitramine 50. Whatever that means! Regardless, it makes short work of people and xenomorphs alike. Also, don't you just love a small chick with a big gun? Another classic is the DL-44 Heavy Blaster Pistol. Han Solo's gun? Of course we're adding that to the list. Why? Because it's freaking Han Solo's blaster, dude. Enough said. Next on the list is the ARC gun. Who didn't love District 9? Mockumentary turned thriller turned sci-fi action extravaganza! There were so many awesome alien weapons in this film. The gravity gun thing was pretty awesome, especially when firing pigs, but the ARC gun was by far my favorite. Probably because it's so gory. The Mulcher, as it's sometimes referred to, utilizes a protonic current, which upon hitting a biological target causes the entity to superheat and explode in a swift, violent, and very messy manner. Although direct hits are the most efficient, even a slight graze can cause severe burns and horrible dismemberments. Brutal. Next on my list we have a lesser known but totally awesome pistol that, if I was in some sort of made up super sci-fi fantasy, I would definitely have this bad boy on my loadout. The Particle Magnum is the primary sideout of the Travelers in Stargate Atlantis. The Travelers are an advanced race of humans in the Pegasus galaxy that avoided the Wraith by hiding on generation ships that travel about the galaxy, never setting foot on a planet where they could be culled. We first see the gun when we meet Ronan Dex. This gun is awesome. The gun is a revolver with a barrel containing 3 crystals of various sizes, meaning it has 3 settings: stun, kill, and incinerate. Incinerate is insane and can blow holes through even ancient Lantean doors, which are some of the strongest in the series. The gun does have a finite amount of charge, and the crystals can be removed to recharge or replace. As long as there is a high enough energy source available, or you have extra crystals, as in extra cartridges, you are good to go. Also, it looks pretty badass. What doesn't look badass, but next on my list, is of course the phaser. From Star Trek, of course, the phaser is the most common and standard directed energy weapon in the arsenal of Starfleet and various other races and factions. Most are classified as particle weapons that fire in nadion particle beams. Nadion is an artificially generated particle, or something, I don't know. The phaser has a variety of settings, and based on the intensity and field of the beam, a wide variety of effects could be achieved, such as the classic stun kill settings. Personally, I never really liked the phaser because it looks kind of stupid, but the technology's cool and I love Star Trek, so it's on the list. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Your time for revenge is at hand. Voila, the ZF-1. It's light. The handle's adjustable for easy carrying, good for riders and lefties. Breaks down to 4 parts, undetectable by x-rays, ideal for quick, discreet interventions. A word on firepower. Titanium recharger, 3,000 round clip with bursts of 3 to 300. With a replay button, another Zorg innovation, it's even easier. One shot, and replay sends every following shot to the same location. And to finish the job, all Zorg, oldies but goldies. Rocket launcher, arrow launcher with explosive poisonous gas heads, very practical. Our famous net launcher, the always efficient flamethrower. my personal favorite. And for the grand finale, the all-new Ice Cube system. I'm sorry for my terrible accent. I'm not good at that. You know what? Fuck it. I'm leaving. Fuck you. Fuck you. Alright, I'm back. The ZF-1 from the Fifth Element, although we never really get to see it in full use, at least not to its full potential, it's freaking awesome. It's totally silly, it's total overkill, but it's just fun. And that scene where he's demonstrating all the features is probably one of the best scenes in all science fiction. It's just a fun little thing with a stupid gun, with a bunch of stupid Muppets and a stupid guy and everything stupid, including you. Nah, you're alright. Up next is the Lawgiver from Judge Dredd. It was manufactured by General Arms and is voice-activated, a machine pistol that serves as the standard sidearm issued to the judges. It has multiple shots, not unlike the Zorg ZF-1. These include the general-purpose standard lead alloy bullet, armor-piercing rounds, rubber ricochet incendiary rounds, frag grenades, high explosive, and heat-seeking rounds. It's pretty badass, especially for a pistol, for a sidearm. And look, I don't care what anyone says. The latest Dredd movie in 2012 was really cool, dude. Check it out if you haven't already. Another super iconic weapon from science fiction is, of course, the plasma caster. The shoulder-mounted plasma cannon the Predators use to blow people to bits is freaking powerful. I have to put this on the list because of how iconic it is. The classic 3 dots seen before one's inevitable death is one of, if not the most iconic bit from the Predator franchise. That and the infrared vision stuff. The plasma caster is a long-range energy projector weapon with an automatic targeting capabilities. It fires armor-penetrating plasma bolts that explode in a burst of plasma shrapnel upon striking a target, causing devastating wounds and potentially damaging other enemies nearby. When you see those 3 dots, man, you better start running, although that actually probably won't do you much good. Of course, I better start adding some video game weapons. Now, this next one is one of my favorites. Not that I played the franchise that much, but I loved how unique it was, at least back in the day. The Type 33 Guided Munitions Launcher, more commonly referred to as the Needler from the Halo series, is a Covenant anti-infantry weapon. Razor-sharp crystalline projectiles are fired from the elaborate Covenant weapon. The needles are said to use a heat or organic signature to seek their targets. Once fired, the needles will home in on their targets until they violently impact. After a few seconds, they will explode, causing massive damage. As if the penetration damage is enough, they will also explode a few seconds later. But what's really interesting about this weapon is that it has like a friend or foe detection system of some kind. It's a bit of a mystery, but if you're firing the gun, it won't target your squad mates or your allies, only enemies. This weapon is cool because it's just scary. Being impaled, then exploding shortly after is terrifying. Can they make a live-action Halo movie already? Or even better yet, a super high-budget live-action TV show? I mean, the lore and the universe in Halo is just, it's fantastic, and the weapons are awesome. But here's another video game weapon that I think is awesome. This is the final one on my list. I've saved what I think to be the best until last. The BFG 9000. The BFG, or Big Fucking Gun, from the Doom franchise is one of the coolest sci-fi weapons, and is why I have decided to finish with it. It is an extremely powerful plasma energy weapon which uses ionized Argent energy to create one hell of a fucking shot. Argent energy, as we all know, is a new form of renewable energy that was discovered by the Union Aerospace Corporation in the late 21st century. It originated in hell! That's right, the hell! And its special properties allow it to be superheated to the point of freeing electrons that seems to be stable at a higher than thought possible temperature, and can also energize objects that it comes into contact with. But we already know all that. When fired, the green burst of plasma damages enemies near the projectile and obliterates targets upon impact, while creating a decent amount of splash damage as well. The gun is massive and presumably heavy as hell itself, so be sure to get properly jacked before acquiring this weapon. So that's my top 10 personal favorite firearms in science fiction, at least for the meantime. Ask me again in a few months and I'll probably say something completely different. But currently, what's your favorite firearm in science fiction? Leave a comment below and let's get a friendly discussion going. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next rotation.